We Europeans, a Survey of Racial Problems by Julian S. Huxley and A. C. Haddon, with a chapter on Europe Overseas by A. M. Carr Saunders. Preface. One of the greatest enemies of science is pseudoscience. In a scientific age, prejudice and passion seek to clothe themselves in a garb of scientific respectability, and when they cannot find support from true science, they invent a pseudoscience to justify themselves. We all know that the devil can quote Scripture for his own purpose. Today we are finding that he can even invent a false Scripture from which to quote. Nowhere is this lamentable state of affairs more pronounced than in regard to race. A vast pseudoscience of racial biology has been erected which serves to justify political ambitions, economic ends, social grudges, class prejudices. The purpose of this book is to bring together the chief scientific facts now available on the subject of race in man, in other words, the genetic differences between human groups, and to present them in the light of established scientific principles. Special attention has been given to Europe. One of the main conclusions which emerge from such a study is the extent of our scientific ignorance on this fundamental subject. Such ignorance ill accords with the passionate proclamations of certitude which are to be heard in certain quarters. However, it is a matter of observation that passion thrives on ignorance, and that dogmatic certitude is a pathetic attempt to find a substitute for patient knowledge, which is always humbly conscious of its inevitable limitations. In spite of the extent of our ignorance, a certain body of real knowledge on the subject does indeed exist. Today, in the light of the biological laws of heredity, this knowledge can be seen to have certain definite applications. There have, however, been few attempts to link a popular presentation of the facts with some interpretation of them in terms of scientifically acceptable genetic doctrine. To do this is one of the prime aims of this volume. One fact which emerges from a survey of this kind is the relative unimportance, from the immediate point of view, of purely biological factors as opposed to social problems in the broadest sense. The biological problems remain as matters of long-range importance, which in the future will be fundamental. But the immediate task of humanity is to set its economic, political, and social affairs in order, to acquire scientific control of the forces operative in society, as it has already acquired control of the forces operative in nature, to learn how to regulate its internal environment, as it has been doing with fair success for its external environment. Meanwhile, the biological facts and problems remain. We must try to see our existing knowledge in its true perspective, and to take steps to fill the vast gaps in it against the time when biological knowledge will be in a position to become the center of human interest.